Uh, Sam Smith enjoys going fishing, and Matt Walsh, being the man-child that he is, ends up getting upset over that fact, as well as Sam Smith referring to themselves as a fisher them.
Is back on TV again, and I'm loath to play any more clips involving this freaking guy, but I have to play this. As an angler myself, it just irked me, and so I can't help but play it. Here it is.
You're a big fan of fishing.
I do love
No.
fishing.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
What?
Yeah, I'd love to be a fisher them.
What, like a fly fisherman?
I'd be any type of fisher them. I think I would like to. One day, I'd just like to end my days fishing. Like
We
sitting
can
on a
sort
bank.
that out.
Isn't it?
Do you
Yeah.
fly
Peaceful.
fishing or like?
I do it on the sea and I do it in the lakes. I've never done it alone.
So cool.
Someone's always taught me.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fisher them. That's the kind of thing, like, if I found out that Sam Smith is an angler or considers himself one, I would say that that's a joke that I would come up with to make fun of him. Like,
Okay, so your joke would involve calling somebody who goes by they, them a fisher them, and that is supposed to be humorous. It's honestly amusing how, like, these supposed right-wing comedians think they're funny, and yet they can never make any actual funny joke.
they call it, well, yeah, Fisher them. But he's embraced it. This is as these people just continue to get to a point where it's just beyond. There's no way to even satirize or mock them anymore effectively because it's beyond parody.
How is this beyond parody? Because he wants, because they want to be referred to a certain way, that's somehow parody.
And mockery. So he's not saying it as a joke. He can't be saying it as a joke because then what would the punchline be? The punchline would be, the non-binary craze. And obviously that's not the punchline. So
Well, your punchline to your jokes are non-binary craze, and your audience is so dumb they find that funny. To me, that is actually hilarious. Like how dumb his comedy actually is.
this is how he actually wants to be referred to. Fisher them. Have you ever heard of a data broker? They're the middlemen collecting and selling all data for monitoring and it can be logged as an app activity. The app has strangers and Matt Walsh. And I'm sorry, I don't buy Sam Smith as a fisherman or fisher them. I don't buy it at all.
Wait, you don't believe that they could be fishing? I mean, it's not like it's hard to fish. All you do is bait a line and cast it and then wait. I mean, fly fishing would be, a bit harder. That takes some actual, like, skill to do. But for the most part, fishing isn't hard. I mean, and if you learn about, like, where, like, what places fish like to be at certain times of the day, that will make it, easier to find certain types of fish or the best time to catch them. But I mean, Matt Walsh wants to act like fishing is some kind of skilled thing. It's just, I don't know. He claims to be like all about like freedom and stuff, and when somebody freely like uses their freedoms, he gets upset because it's not the type of person he likes that is using their freedoms.
This guy is not going out fishing. I know he's not. Maybe he's been out a couple of times. Okay, I've heard this from people before. Oh, I love fishing, and then like you go out fishing with them, and for them, fishing is like just a spin cast reel, throwing it out into the middle of the lake with a bobber on there. And it's like that's the kind of thing that he's doing.
Okay, how about you prove that you fish, Matt Walsh? Because I don't believe you go fishing. It's easy to just make a baseless claim, but that's what Matt Walsh loves to do, just make baseless claims. Because why do you have to support it when you can just make the claim and move on?
Actual fishing. I'll tell you why I know he's not a fisherman. Is because what makes fishing enjoyable is that, it's just like it makes many hobbies enjoyable. It's one of the fundamental joys of it is that you're not thinking about yourself. You are focusing and concentrating on something other than yourself.
Wow, that's hilarious. He's not a fisher. He doesn't go fishing because he's not focusing on fishing. He's focusing on himself. But somehow Matt Walsh knows what this person is thinking when they go fishing. But how does he know what this person is thinking? It's just another deluded claim that Matt Walsh wants to bring against somebody he doesn't even know and just dislikes because of the pronouns they use.
It's the craft and the skill of fishing. That's what makes it fun. That's what makes it enjoyable. But we know that a narcissist like that could never find joy in that because everything has to come back to him.
That's funny. He wants to talk about narcissism when Matt Walsh is one of the biggest narcissists you can find on the internet.
Everything has to be about his own self-obsessions. So anything that takes him out of that is going to be very disturbing. We already know that.
Yeah, says the guy who claims you can't go fishing unless you're just thinking about the fish. The person who thinks that people can only do things under his conditions. I mean, he's a bigger narcissist. It's he's the one who truly thinks everything is about him and how he sees the world. Because if it doesn't fit his standards, it's not real.
So I do not accept him in the angler community. I'm sorry. We're a welcoming community for the most part, but we do draw the line somewhere.
So the reason you don't accept Sam Smith as a fisherman because you don't believe he thinks about the fish, that's a weird reason to have an exclusive group. And you can't claim to be inclusive when you're like, oh, this person can't join my group because I don't like the way they use their pronouns and their freedoms.
We draw it at Fisher Thems. That'll do it for this portion of the show. So move over to the members.
Yeah, this is just hilarious. He's so upset over somebody using pronouns from a guy who claims to be all about people's freedoms.